and more millennials and Gen Z are turning to dating apps to find romantic connections. But have these apps really transformed human connection for the better? Welcome to another episode of Life and the City podcast. I am your host, Farid Wahab, and today I am joined by my friends who will talk to us about their experience using dating apps. Thank you guys for coming. We have with us today Khalilul Rahman. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay. Otherwise known as Cal, who is a book author. And we also have one of our own, our journalist, Khoo Jian Teng, my colleague, more fondly known as Matt. Thank you for joining us today, Matt. I understand you're actually off today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so dating apps. It seems like a lot of millennials and Gen Z today are using dating apps. I mean, more so than the former generations, previous generations. So let's just jump into it. You guys can take turns to talk about this. Okay, let's start with you first, Matt. Let's talk about your experience. What made you decide to try dating apps? And when did you start?
I started like a couple months ago actually. It all started like randomly with a friend of mine who just decided to just start using dating apps. Randomly just try it out and see how it goes. And yeah, from there I just slowly, the start of it was like, where do I even begin? How do I even set up my profile kind of stuff? So I started, putting my hobbies down, a couple decent pictures I would say, and then just went from there, yeah.
How about you, Carl?
Traumatic experience.
Okay, do tell.
Okay, so basically, I've been single at that point of time of signing up. I was single for nearly 10 years, and friends was like, "Hey, man, I won't worry about you, this and that, but why don't you try on the dating apps?" And I said, "Okay." And it was during the pandemic, so obviously it was at the start of the pandemic. So obviously, everyone's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna be alone for the rest of our lives." So obviously, I started the yellow app and the blue app. Not the red app because I feel it's tacky. Then had some really good experiences, made some really good friends. I think so far in terms of romantic affordability, unfortunately, not unfortunately, I think alhamdulillah, when you're not aligned, it's best to either remain friends or acquaintances, and so on and so forth. I think it's all about being respectful. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about, and yeah, that's how I started. I think the yellow app can testify that I've deleted my account and reset my account multiple times.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's it from my side as an intro lah.
I'm guessing there were times when you felt like, okay, I'm done with this, and then a few months down the line, you know what, I'm gonna give it another go.
Yeah. I think that's how they
Right.
draw it with you, because again, at my age of 34, at this point of recording, a lot of my friends are married. They have kids, they have responsibilities, they're traveling or whatever, and so at the same time, you kind of I'm not saying that you're lost friends. People, they have their own journey, and then thankfully, alhamdulillah, inside the apps, make some really good friends. We still in contact until to this day. When they ask me for hey, why do guys think this way? So they look at me as a surrogate big brother for some reason.
Okay.
So it's quite interesting.
Okay. So Matt, when you first started using these apps, did they match what you expected, or did you encounter any surprises?
I mean, when you first start out there, you get preferences, what you look for. So I just picked what I like, hobbies, what you like to do and whatnot, leisure time. So most of my recommendations were up to my expectation, and from there I just swiped and whatnot. But yeah, it met my expectations, met some good people as well. Yeah, a good few people, some not so. But
Okay, we're gonna talk more about that. We're gonna dive more into that later. Okay, go on.
and yeah, I chatted up some people, and yeah, we just basically made as friends, nothing more than that. Because as myself, I'm not good on texting, or rather than face. I prefer meeting up face to face. I better with making contact in better conversation face to face rather than text. Yeah. So for me, using those apps, texting was not my strong suit. No.
You know, I find it interesting that you bring this up because I think it's something that we need to talk about. I have a worry that the younger generation, like people our age, I mean, of course, you are 9 years younger than me, you're 25, I'm 34, but the younger generation have probably grown too comfortable with texting to the point where they might not be as comfortable talking to someone in person. Like they have not developed these skills because they're more I don't know. I just, it's something that I've been thinking about, randomly, that they have grown too comfortable texting, so they have not developed that like skills to be able to
to
talk.
be like maybe people person or something.
Yes. So I find it interesting that you brought that up because it's something that I've been thinking about. How about you, Carl?
It's interesting that you said that because I think it's definitely people by people basis. Like some people like prefer to send texts and they like to consume text.
Yeah.
Some people rather to have meetups or they go on like a first date or they will recommend their friends or whatever. And what my point is, I think it's really down to the personality that you're looking for. Like for me, like let's just say you want to have it like hojicha latte, for example. You look for that hojicha latte, and then like you not say you ignore everything else. You do consider like other drinks, this and that, but you're already kind of like set on that. So I think what I'm trying to go to this point is that I think some people are just set in their expectations lah. So maybe like with you, you're more like comfortable face to face. Like for me, it's more of like texting because like for me, because I'm coming from a generation where I write and read a lot. So if someone reciprocated how I communicate, I think the point I'm trying to go here is all about how do we use our communication tools. What kind of communication medium are we using? For you, it's face to face. For me, it's like I want to text first. I want to be comfortable with this person first before we meet up.
Yeah.
Because like I think how we text and verbally communicate is very different. But if both, like for me, it's like if the potential partner or even myself like can match it to 1-to-1 or near 1-to-1, I think you really get to know a sense of that person, how that person communicate. And I think when we look at like relationships and marriages that happen for the last maybe since the pandemic, I think divorce rates has like gone up, and I think it's all goes back to the communication with clarity issue. Again, we can go in circles a lot.
Okay. You mentioned something about you want to get comfortable texting before you start meeting up. Okay, people have disagreed on this question a lot, but I just want to know your opinion, right? How long between the match and the first meet up? Like how long do you think it should take? Like some people say 3 days and then you should meet up. Some people say it's a week. Like where do you stand on this?
I think it depends on the ease of the person, ease of the person. If that person has a career life, be respectful. I'm also have a career life as well, so I hope that person respects me as well. So if we somehow both are available on the following day, why not? Why not jumpa? Just have like a pre-date coffee, pre-date tea, this and that. Just like get to know each other a bit more. Spend about maybe an hour or two. Then from there onwards, you decide whether you want to take it to a first date or you just remain as friends. So it's all dependent on the ease, EASE. Like it could take 3 days, could take tonight. It could take it could take like 6 months later.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think we should rush things. If you feel like this person is like oh, I need to like that's at the same time, trust your gut, lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut.
So, like, do you think dating apps have made meeting people easier or just given people more options?
Bit of column A and column B. Again, it depends on the personality of the person. Some people who have like ADHD, they're like, oh, I need to really get a person more to it. And like some people who are like introverts, they're like, okay, I need to be comfortable with that person. Neurodivergent divergence is a thing. So, so like it really depends.
How about you, Matt?
But like let's say, I mean, yeah, it does get easier to get to know someone, but meeting them, I wouldn't say so, because people like when I match with someone, they tend to go for text for like weeks or months first, then they only like decide where they want to go with, or they just leave it as it is and just
move on. Thank
move
you.
on. Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
and peace and thank you. And also in that context, I think at the same time pun macam like when you text that person, you really have a bit of imagination of like how that person sounds like.
yeah.
And one thing about a lot of my matches is like, oh my god, your voice and how you text is
It's like completely different.
completely different. You know, and I prefer your voice. You know, like interesting lah.
You know, this is something I've noticed is that when you match with someone online, right? I don't know about you guys. The conversation, it always feels like you're trying to create something out of thin air.
Yeah,
Of course.
Like I need to try to find a topic to talk about.
yeah,
As opposed to when you meet someone in person, you see what they're wearing, you see what they look like, you see how they interact with other people. So that already gives you plenty to talk about. You know, but when you meet someone online, you know nothing other than, you know, the small details they put in their bio. That is, if they put anything in their bio.
Yeah, correct.
Most of the time, I mean, a lot of people don't. You just have their photos to go by, you know. So you're trying to like, and sometimes it takes a lot of mental effort to try to like create that spark. And sometimes it's just you just like it's too much effort.
exactly. And when you say it become the more you text, and it eventually becomes like an interview rather than conversation.
Yeah, like tell us what you like. Tell us what you like. It's like, you know, it's
To like just before we came on, guy, I shared with you guys something that I just did this year actually. So whenever I do have a match on either apps, I actually ask the permission of the person first. Like, hey, I'm gonna share you a template message that I always share with my matches. Is it okay if I share with you? And then like most of them be like, yeah, sure, please shoot. And then I was like, okay, hi, these are like my social media accounts. If you want to see if I'm real or not. These are my plans for for the remainder of my life. You know, I want to travel. You know, I don't want to have kids. You know, this and that. The reason I want to do this is because like the reason I'm telling you this because I want to be respectful at your times and be responsible as well. And then like at the end, it's like, okay, if you want to like meet up for coffee or whatever this and that, it's totally up to you. And then for me, I'm in this like a driven attitude of like, kalau jadi alhamdulillah, kalau tak jadi pun alhamdulillah.
right.
And then like most of the time they do reply like not most of the time, like I would say that it's a good even 50-50, like or near even 50-50, like, oh yeah, sure, like thank you for telling me.
So when after you send a template, you think they like whether they read it or not, they ghost you after, or
No, I mean like the one who doesn't reply, you know, like maybe they get overwhelmed, you know, I don't blame them, you know, like at least they know where I stand, you know. But at the same time, we have to remember that we cannot be main character syndrome because they could have swiped someone else, and maybe they're having a very great connection with the other person, so maybe they want to go with that person. It's totally up to their prerogative. Like for me, like the ones who do reply, it means that they're showing the same effort that I'm putting in, and like alhamdulillah, so far, like most of them we all like friends.
Wow.
And alhamdulillah, like most, like some of them already dah macam found their respective partners, and I'm wishing them all the best, you know. And like at the end of the day, you macam like don't need to be vengeful anymore, like just let go
that's
and like be happy for the other person.
that's very, very mature.
Yeah.
But I don't think
It takes a lot of mistakes to reach this point.
So okay, maybe let's talk about the frustrations. I'm sure you know you've been on it on a while. I've been on them. You recently got began using them. Frustrations you have when using dating apps.
oh, the main thing, ghostings. It's extremely prevalent. I think so far I've matched not more than 10, I think. But like I said from before, eventually it becomes like an interview type of conversation. You know, what you like, what you don't, to and back. Eventually nothing happens. The person eventually will just ghost. But I try not to ghost people, but like texting so many people all at the same time, like eventually becomes a chore rather than something I want to. Yeah.
It is, and for journalists like us, we get a lot of messages every day, and like I said, it takes a significant amount of mental energy to. People think texting is easy. I mean, the act of typing is easy, but thinking about what should I say next, like how should I respond to this? Is it the right way? You know,
is this the right way? Is this the right person? You have so many different personalities for each person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to remember the detail.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some people don't care. I do. You know, maybe some people don't care, but I do. So for people who do, it can be a lot.
I mean, just to add up, you talk about frustration from the outwards. You know, for me, my frustration is inwards. You know, because maybe I put some expectations that this person, because like how that person responded to me or how they shape up their profiles, whatever, and then like I set myself up to fail. You know, so macam like maybe during the early days in you have a bit of like an infatuation of like, oh, okay, this person like ticks everything. You know, it's a hot take, and like, but at the same time, you learn to forgive yourself and stand up for yourself a bit more. So macam you that person, like you match that person. And I mean, you're like, oh my god, like this person likes me, and like and I like her, and like da 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 da. Right? And then like you overthink and overimagine what like the possibilities or whatever again. And then like I think that's my own internal frustration. It's a really hot take, and I could be like slaughtered for this, apa semua tu kan. Tapi you know, sometimes we have to look through within first before macam like and also at the same time, I think about being comfortable with yourself. I remember like these are the things that it's either you want it or you want people to see that you have it. So I think some people like dating in general, there are people who wants a relationship, but there are also some people who wants others to see that they are in a relationship. You know?
Being in one for the sake of being in one.
Yeah, you know, like obviously like for me the reason I'm still on the app, obviously I'm looking for love. You know, like you know, for my forever person, apa this like, you know, sometimes kita boleh jumpa kat kedai kopi ke or whatever kan. But my point is like you gotta know what you are comfortable with. At the same time, you do not want to morph into that person and that person to morph into you as well, because like you shouldn't like chameleon yourself to the wants and needs of that person, and vice versa. It should be like it's a partnership where both wants to grow together. You know, rather than this person like being like worshipping the other person and vice versa. So that's not a really healthy thing to do.
Like the Obsession movie kind of.
Yeah. So much like, you know, you have to respect that person for having that person's individuality.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, like you know, we all learn through certain ways and through the hard ways and so on and so forth. Like, you know, I admit that I've made some mistakes as well. You know, be it on the dating app or not, apa semua and then you learn from it. And then I remember asking this question to a few friends, like, what kind of mistakes that you have made that you have learned that benefited the next set of challenges or the next person, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, I do believe in redemption as well, but it depends on person to person lah kan. So to answer your question of like the frustration, I think you have to learn about your own frustration first, and then like set realistic expectations of where you want to go. So your frustration is outwards. I get it. I really do. Like I was there. And then over time you realize that frustration is actually from within, because you're putting too much hopes and expectations to that person. But the hell, it's not healthy.
Well, I want to say something, but I forgot it. I'll come back to it. I'll get back to it.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about ghosting. Matt, you mentioned ghosting a few times in your previous responses. So, like, why do you think it's so common?
I think maybe people my age don't want to face confrontation too much. You know, being if it's done, then it's done. They're not gonna like just ignore. They're just gonna ignore the problem. You know, and just leave it as it is, and just abandon it, basically abandon the chat. So that's why I think most people just ghost is because they just lost interest and they don't want to talk to the person anymore. So that's why I think I wouldn't say I've ghosted anyone. I might have, but I'm not sure, because for me, like a couple months in, I just got, it was actually for me, it's like super tiring to like just constantly, swipe and all that. So eventually I just removed the app. So all my chats probably just
disappeared.
Just disappeared probably. So maybe it was the same as me. They also got tired probably and just did it unintentionally. That could also be a
Life gets in the way.
yeah.
I think it's easy. I think it's like when it's someone you have never met, it feels easier to just discontinue talking.
Yeah, that's
Feel like okay,
yeah.
wash my hands.
Yeah, because you already have like nothing to lose anyway. So
If you've met in person, say you were introduced by friends,
mm,
there's a lot more at stake.
yeah,
When you cut contact, people will talk, and you feel that you feel a certain amount of pressure that like I have some kind of, not to say commitment, but some kind of like ties to this.
Yeah.
I can't just walk away, But when you meet, this is just someone, this is just another profile on the app. You feel like, oh, I don't care. It's easier to disconnect. How about you, Carl? What's your experience with ghosting?
For ghosting, I do apologize to anyone out there who suddenly like, oh my God, I saw this guy, but we never saw someone in the past or whatever. I do apologize.
Yeah, just in case they are watching this.
just in case,
they might leave a comment and say, you ghosted me.
I do deeply apologize. Just reach out to me on Instagram, Brother Carl, and we can reignite the conversation. Yeah, you're right. Life gets in the way. But also another thing that I also have done with recent times, if the conversation goes dry after a certain amount of time, actually I do have another template message like, hey, I know we have been talking for a while. It's not to reignite. It's actually to say all the best. For me, it's like probably that person has another vested interest elsewhere. And for me, you just want to wish that person all the best. Macam like pray that person finds happiness with someone. Yes, it's not with you, but at the same time, there's a reason why we are guided, to pass by all these people, and like maybe like they could take some lessons from what I did, So macam like for me, it's like try to leave the next person, try to leave anyone better off when you first met, when you found them lah. Kind of like that guy tell us so.
All right. So another thing about about dating apps is that you tend to look at their profiles. Okay, you tend to look at their photos, their hobbies, all the things they have listed, and there are also apps which allow you to filter what you want. So do you think this has changed what young people, millennials and Gen Zs, come to expect from relationships?
Interesting. I think for that one, again, everyone has their
preferences.
Like for me, I do not want to have kids. It's just overpopulation. I'd rather adopt a kid that's like 7 years old, or finish this motor and like start up like a foster family or whatever. And that's just me. But some people want to have kids, so that's why like I think the filter helps because like you avoid potential heartbreaks. In many respects, and at the same time, it goes back to the top of the show. Like it's all about being respectful and responsible of the other person's time.
How about you, man?
Me, preferences do help. I mean, it is your preference. So, like for me, it's actually not so deep like you. Having kids and all that. Because I'm still just 25. I don't know what's gonna happen or whatever. So, for me, I just. Usually I just look at their profile and I just if I'm interested I just swipe. If like from what you said before, if it's just blank, I usually just don't swipe at all, or I just leave it, because I really don't. I have to know what I'm getting into before actually trying to commit. Yeah.
This actually ties back. My next question actually ties back to our previous discussion. There's this perception that people are always looking for someone better, or a better option is always around the corner. You might meet someone you kind of like, but then you feel like, you know what, there are thousands others profiles on here. I can just get someone better. That might, incentivize people to ghost when they feel like, okay, instead of putting the work to try to really get to know this person, the moment the first inconvenience comes up, they say, okay, I'm going to move on to the next. Do you think there's truth to that?
A bit of column A and column B lah. Like for me, like I said earlier, it's all about ease. When you match with a person, be it on the app or you match somebody at a coffee shop, there's a feeling of ease in your gut, in your heart. I think there shouldn't be any issue. But if there's like a certain thing that's like preventing you to do it, then obviously that's the reason why. It's all about your instincts you got lah.
But eventually you have to like if something does come up, you have to like make some effort to,
Yeah, of course.
yeah. You can't just like, oh, something happened, something that I don't like. You should just move to the next person.
Yeah. Like kan macam like it goes back to our like for you're 34 and then like you're 25. There are some relationships in terms of friendships or even professional that you met like 15 years ago, then suddenly you became best friends or you work with that person or whatever. So I think it's all about not say leaving a good impression, but leaving a particular legacy, not legacy lah, like I would say like this person is actually kind, like genuinely kind, like, and then like 10 years later you berbalik, maybe you kahwin that person, you don't know, or maybe you become best friends. Like for example, back in high school, I was there for 5 years. I never spoken to this one particular now one of my closest friends in high school, and then like after high school we became like really really close friends. A lot of my high school friends were like, how these two like became friends, like best.
Yeah, it can just be like out of random sometimes.
Random, so like what I'm trying to go back to that point is that like you don't know where life takes you, philosophically speaking, but at the same time like come in with kindness and exit with kindness. I think that's the approach I usually go for, like in both the dating app and also in life.
See. No, the reason I asked that question, are people always on the lookout for something better, regardless of what better might actually mean in this case, is because in my opinion, relationships take time, or at least take some kind of effort. I mean, ignoring the fact that at this point when you just match, it can barely be called a relationship.
Yeah. But I do know people who like match and or in real life and also on apps, like 3 months later you get married and like they're on like their second kid. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes it happens.
It just happens. Yeah.
It just happens.
Because all human connections, be it romantic, friendship, whatever kinds of relationships, there will come a point where it hits a phase where there's not much going on. The excitement is gone. And then when you come into that phase, you feel like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna swipe and keep swiping and find the next hit of dopamine.
For me, the plateau is the best part.
Yeah.
For me, if you are able to be quiet with someone for a long period of time, I think that's a really good match.
Yeah, that for me, that probably happens once you've met that person outside.
Yeah.
Now we are still on the
app.
app.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like for me, my age, I think people, because they want more excitement, with that, they will just, like what you said, the dopamine hit, like a video game, gacha or whatever, they just keep going and hope for a better hit.
I think some, because I actually follow a number of licensed therapists online, and I think the term they use is intentionality, meaning does someone come into the picture with an intention? Does someone come into the picture with like what you said, I have this is what I'm looking for. You come in with an intention rather than someone coming with
manipulation.
Someone looking for attention rather than intention. Like I'm on these apps because I'm looking for something great, something permanent, rather than someone going there, I'm just here for a quick high, for some fun. That's it. I'm not looking for anything, anything particular. So intention versus attention.
It's either you want it or you want people to see you have it.
Right. I want to ask. I want to veer off topic a little bit. Let's talk about catfishing. It's catfishing, by the way, is how do I explain it? It's for when someone pretends to be someone else, or they use someone else's picture, maybe someone more attractive, to try to connect with people they wouldn't have otherwise been able to connect with. Have you experienced something like this? Have you been catfished?
Yes, and bit of column A and column B, meaning like catfish, yes. That person actually doesn't exist. And also another one is being stood up. Because we agreed to meet up at this place and whatever, and that person doesn't show up without any like follow up or whatever. So that cracking it's sad, but at that point of time, obviously, over time you realize that you have quiet contemplation to say, okay, why did this happen to me? Was I too naive? Was I
Too gullible.
too gullible or
Mm.
whatever? And it's fine. You know, you learn a lesson and you move.
Yeah.
Not say you move on. You learn a lesson. You apply what you learned, then you move forward.
How about you, Matt? What's your experience with catfishing?
Did not experience any of it, thank goodness.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say catfishing. Don't know if it's like very prevalent in the apps, but since you said what, but you
Stood
never, yeah, you got stood up, but you never got like
The clarification.
the on whether that person doesn't exist or not. Yeah, never got that. That is my definition of catfishing, but I never experienced that. But I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Same.
Yeah, because it is a complete waste of time. Yeah, you spend so much effort, for spending time with talking to someone just for them to not exist or for them to be someone else. Yeah.
And also because of sorry to cut you off, Farid and Matt. With the rise of AI.
Yes,
and
yeah.
stuff, and I do fear for the future of this like loneliness epidemic.
I think a lot of our news reports tend to center around scams, meaning people who transfer money to someone's account, like what they call it, romance scams.
Yeah.
But there's another kind of scam which, these people are not looking for money. They're just looking for connection. They're probably, not, they probably don't fulfill the conventional beauty standards, and therefore they don't feel like they could get certain kinds of attention from certain types of people. So they create, accounts using someone else's picture, and they don't have any malicious intent other than they just want to get to know you. They just want to talk to you because they know, or at least they think, without this fake profile, you wouldn't have given them the time of day, And then, romance is the one part in our life where I think, in my opinion, we are allowed to discriminate. You can't discriminate people based on their look, based on their age, how they look in say employment. But in this, you can. It's the person you're going to be spending the next.
Yeah.
It's the person you're looking to spend the next 40, 50 years with next. So you are allowed to discriminate that way. Another thing I want to ask, like, if dating apps were to suddenly disappear tomorrow, how would our generation connect? We are so used to it.
Yeah.
So how would we find romantic partners?
I think
Back to the good old days.
agree. I think this is where we need more public spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think public spaces like parks and
Yeah.
recreation places are the place for connection. I've known people who actually met at parks and they eventually ended up together for the rest of their lives. Public spaces, so like even like but correct you, you guys are journalists, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the recent New York City mayor just like created a lot of like public spaces events for people to meet and have connections, whether be it friends or romantic or whatever. But I think that's the role of like public spaces to have. I think dating apps basically is like their digital third space. We always talk about the third space. We have our home as our first space, our workplace, our second space, and the third space is the space that we hang out, we like part of what do. And on social media, we also have that third space. We have our primary social media account, and we have the secondary social media account that we platform that we go to. Then our third one, which is usually either the dating apps or the language apps or whatever like that.
Yeah, like sorry, what you said from like social recreational or social spaces, like even if you can just go find people of the same interest as you, like you said, dating apps could be the third platform. You can go back to your second platform, first platform. Just look up like groups of those people with the same interest as you, regardless sports or whatever. Yeah, then you can just join a group real quick and then have a hangout. You might meet someone better there. Yeah.
Actually, I listened to. I read this one. I can't remember whether I read it or I watched it, but this one licensed therapist based in the UK or US, and he suggested the same thing. He said maybe join a book club or maybe join a hiking club, walking club. He said at least you'll be meeting people at the space where you both already share the same hobby. That gives you a starting point to talk about, And when you, like, again, it goes back to what I said earlier, when you meet someone in person, there's there's another element to it.
Yeah.
You know, like
You already know how to approach or what to
Yes,
talk about. Yeah.
what to expect. You already know what this person is like, how he or she interacts with other people, rather than on the apps, because people always try to present the best side of themselves on the
Correct.
apps, and you may not get a clearer picture, a full picture of what this person is like. Actually, before prior to the start of this, a couple of days ago, I actually reached out to a number of my women friends to try to get them on the podcast, but unfortunately, many of them were a bit shy, a bit camera shy. But I managed to get one of them. I feel like because as men, we may have a slightly
Correct,
different
yeah.
experience
Yeah.
compared to women. I feel like women have slightly different experience than men using dating apps. So I managed to get one person, one of my friend, Alisa. She's 25. So I got her to share what her experience was like. So she said it was a mix of good and bad experience. And she said some of her friends, women friends, experienced body shaming from men. Okay. And she said that, yes, she did have some good chemistry. But again, she also got ghosted a couple times, even from people she thought she had great chemistry with. So her advice is that people that you saw on the apps may not always be genuine. They may tell you what you want to hear, but in the end, they are not actually what you thought they were.
Correct. So again, it goes back to what I said earlier, frustration from within. We set ourselves up to at the same time. But like, I pray all the best to not only her but all the women who are seeking genuine connections. I wish them all the best. At the same time, body shaming. I actually experienced that before.
Care to share with us, Carl?
It was quite surprising. We had a really good connection. Not connection. No, we had a good ease. Of talking on the app, what to this and that, and then suddenly obviously we follow each other on social media and whatever. And then when I started gaining a bit of weight, and obviously macam, dah dapat lain sikit. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I put on a few kilos, but and then slowly the conversation just tailspin and macam, obviously we all gain weight differently. Like some people, despite taking only 1,500 calories a day, but still are you still growing because of the stress and cortisols, this and that, and it's a bit macam sad lah, and that the connection kind of tailspin elsewhere. And for me, masa that time tu macam obviously macam down. Memang rasa down gila, but at the same time pun macam okay, tak apa, maybe it's a motivation for me to get my health back together. So I look at it as something else, but saying certain phrases of word didn't help from her end lah. I wish I would not disclose, but it was quite hurtful lah. I mean, it was quite hurtful where macam even some of my friends were like, hey, you okay ke? I haven't seen you in a while, apa this and that, and then obviously there lah some of those cases. But go back to your friend Alicia. Your point kan. Again, I do have women friends as well who are on the app, and same thing as well, mixed experience. Some people they lead you on. I think that's something where we should. People should stop leading people on. If they unintentionally did it, I think if you were to call out on them, I think they would some people just don't do it out of malicious.
That is true.
Life gets in the way, but people who do it out of intentions, manipulation, apa semua tu, then they should be called out.
I think not to discredit your experience, but I do feel like sometimes people are not malicious in that they're not purposely trying to mislead you. Is that they get caught up in the moment, they enjoyed it too much before they realize, hey, you know what? I'm into deep and I'm not really into this person as I thought I was.
Correct.
I think there's a whole lot of conversation on threads, on threads, on other platforms. People talking about this thing, avoidant. People talking about this thing. I think you've heard it, avoidant. What's the other one? Insecure or something. I can't remember what it's called. But that would be a whole another topic that we cannot cover in the span of this episode. How about you, Matt? Any experience like that? Body shaming?
Myself, not really. I mean, looking
yeah.
Well built.
no, I'm not. But body shaming on women, I don't know, man. Maybe they felt insulted that the guys felt insulted or something, or they were just trolling. I'm not very sure. I can't assume. But for women, I think it's a lot harder because I know a few friends, like compared to me, I only get like less than 10 matches. But for women, they can get up to tens, if not 100 times more likes than what guys normally get. So
Okay.
yeah, so there's a lot of guys just swiping out there. But I think it's for women, it's a lot more difficult to manage all of that and to actually find the one. I do know some that actually found someone after a while, but it takes time, and a lot of patience.
Yeah, for me, when I swipe left, apa semua dah, over time, I build the empathy of, I really hope that this person finds she's looking for. I genuinely do, because like we're all on the app for most of us are on the app for the same purpose, connection. We want to find for our forever person. So there was a few times the tengah swipe semua, I was like, I really like occasionally I do like, I really wish that, I really hope and pray that this person finds that person.
I think it comes down to how secure you are in your skin. Because I've met people, not met people, I have friends who, they ask me to look at their profiles and they use pictures from 10 years ago, back when they were 15 kilograms lighter. Not to body shame, I'm sorry. But people get insecure. They feel like, okay, if I was to put this picture, people wouldn't, I put it probably, instead of 10, I'd probably get 5 matches. Or not matches at all. Some of them use excessive amount of filter, okay, because and to share my own experience, I've been on dates where the person I met did not look anything like the picture, or at least maybe that picture was taken like 15 years ago, where they look completely different than they are now. So immediately I felt like, okay, I felt cheated. I felt like this is not what I signed up for, So naturally,
that's the physical aspect. But what about the mental aspect? Like in terms of like the photo of like the person being more happy or more light in the photo, and then like when you meet that person, why is this person a bit different in terms of like heaviness in the head, heaviness in the head and heaviness in the heart. So itu pun another thing that we have to be honest with us about. We can be honest with ourselves, but at the same time pun macam like the potential of us being at a mentally good space is still there. Macam like for me, I posted photos of my time traveling, because that's what I enjoy. Is it false manipulation? Each to their own, but that's a time where I was genuinely happy, and like the reason why I post photos of travel is because like I like to have an adventure, and I would like you to be part of the adventure.
Like you want to showcase the prominent parts of your life.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying highlights. It's more of like macam like these are the trailers.
Yeah,
these are the trailers to the series. Macam tu.
You can't possibly show everything about your life on the app. You have limited space. There's a lot of apps have only allow a certain number of photos to be featured, right? Okay, advice you would give to anyone thinking about trying apps?
Don't set your expectations too high.
Okay, try to elaborate.
You can go in, but don't expect to find the one after like a few swipes or within a few days. It's not gonna be possible unless you get like super lucky and you actually find the one you really connect with. For me, like I used it for a month, did not get anyone, but still trying hunting somewhere out there, but hopefully one day. But don't go in, just to hopefully you find random dopamine hits.
Fair enough. For me, two things. I think number one is enter with kindness and exit with kindness. And also when you do meet, have an ease of yourself. Just have an ease of yourself. Don't take it too seriously apa semua tu. And if that person and you and that person have a really good gut feeling of like, oh, this can something whatever get, or that something could be friendship or relationship, just go with it. Maybe because like sorry for adding more further context. Like in my social circles, like I'm like the oddball out who's still single. Everyone's married, having kids, and great careers and whatever kan. And then they look at me and like, kalau you okay ke tak semua tu kan? And I was like, I'm okay. Like genuinely, yes, it'd be great to have someone. But at the same time pun, you gotta go inwards first before you go outwards. So macam like, if you guys want to like go into the dating apps and just like try it out, apa semua tu, if you were to make mistakes, acknowledge the mistakes and like apologize to the person if you felt that you've hurt the person lah. And just continue on to be kind. Be curious, not judgmental lah.
If I could offer my own advice, I know I'm the host.
Please.
I mean, I myself, and I have not been lucky to find what my one person yet, but I just want to share this something that I read a couple of months ago about, we are all looking for the perfect person. So with the apps, it's easy to think, okay, I find this person, he or she is very attractive, is doing a good job, I mean, he's employed, has a good job, pays well, very handsome, very attractive, very beautiful, very stylish, all of these criteria that you might want in a partner, and you think, oh, that's perfect. But the one criteria that people often miss is that a perfect person is a person who chooses you.
Yeah.
This person can tick all the boxes, but if she doesn't choose you, then it's not perfect. If it's someone you have to chase, you have to keep texting, you have to keep reminding her, hey, I sent you this text last night. Have you seen it? Have you read it? Are you going to go out with me this weekend? If you have to do all that much, I mean, not to say that relationships don't take work. All kinds of relationships, romantic or not, take work. But if it's that difficult, then maybe this person is not perfect for you. And there's no such thing as right person, wrong time. Like people say, if the right person will come to see you at the right time. Hopefully I don't sound like a therapist, because I'm not a therapist. I'm not certified. So take my advice, with a grain of with a grain of salt, or whatever the saying is. It's just my advice. The perfect person is a person who chooses you. So I'm gonna close this podcast very soon. But before we go, you guys have any final thoughts to share with our listeners?
Sure, few, but one thing I'll try my best to not take long. Relationships. Yeah, we're all human beings lah. So macam, life happens, and you wanna, keep your social mobility of energy keep going. I think like dating apps just help. You meet new people, you create new friendships, and possibly into a relationship, apa semua this and that. Tapi itulah, like with the whole like how cold the world can be. Again, like just be a light in someone when you match, and like at the same time, macam like trying to understand also life is also gets in the way juga lah. But I do also, this is quite paradoxical. Macam, sometimes like you can be on the dating apps at the same time, yes, go out a few times, some like go to your stage spaces, and
live life a little.
Live life a little.
Yeah. Don't look for someone to complete it. Complete your life, and then if you have extra space, welcome someone into it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it for me. I can go on. I'm off it, so going on.
Matt, anything you wanna say? your 25-year-old wisdom, share it with us.
I think Cal covered pretty much everything. He's the most mature one here, using dating apps, having templates and all.
I'm pretty sure someone who I pissed off in the past. This guy, I'm gonna dox this guy. And before that person does it, I just want to invite that person. Confront me privately.
Yeah, fine.
We can meet up at a coffee shop and just confront me head on.
Yeah, fine, Carl. Don't dox him in the comment section. Please don't do that.
I'm usually at a coffee shop with Bangs now, so you can find me there.
All right, this has been a fun topic. I'm sure there's a lot more we can talk about, but we don't have that much time. Otherwise, it would be a PhD thesis. But anyway, I hope this has spark some talking points among our listeners. If you have anything else to add, please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. I would be happy to see what you have to say about this episode. The Life and the City podcast can be viewed on our YouTube channel at The Star Online or www.thestar.com.my/metro. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye. In the UK once, Mak Saleh.
Oh really?
I paid for the dinner and everything, and then lepas tu dia cakap, sorry lah,